Good morning. Hi. I have two short readings. Both of them just feel very alive to me and maybe to my fellow humans. The first one is a reading by somebody named Matt Likata. It's called A Small Light of Hope. Underneath so many forms of suffering, we find a chronic sense of shame, a deeply rooted belief that I'm not okay as I am, that when all is said and done, there is just something wrong with me. It's such a painful way to organize our experience, leaking out into just about every area of our lives, but especially into our relationships, affecting perception and causing us to do whatever we can to compensate for that core feeling of unworthiness. This primordial sense of defectiveness seems to have its origins in early environments lacking in mirroring and empathic attunement, where there was not enough contact and space for a little heart and nervous system to unfold, explore, and rest in unstructured states of being. Not knowing any other way, we blame ourselves, concluding that there must be something fundamentally wrong with us. It's so heartbreaking, really. While it can feel so overwhelming at times, this narrative can be reauthored. New pathways can be unearthed in the body and psyche, and new grooves can be laid down in a tender, sensitive, and flexible nervous system. A more integrated story can be told. A new dream can be dreamed. New cloth can be woven. It is possible. It is not easy and asks everything of us. It is an act of mercy, kindness, and compassion to remind one another of this revolutionary possibility, especially during times of struggle, that there is hope. Even in the core of the most profound hopelessness, a small light of hope is buried there. The flame is still alive. This is not some overly romantic, positivistic fantasy, but one grounded in the capacity of the brain and nervous system to reorganize. All we can really do is share our own experience of the outrageous intelligence and bravery of the broken human heart and its ability to return home, a force truly greater than exploding stars. The second reading is by Mark Nepo from his book, The One Life We're Given, and it's from the chapter on staying tender and resilient. The clearest way to recover our aliveness is to lean into life, which means that regardless of the nicks and cuts that experience gives us, we stay committed to moving toward what is true. We can learn about leaning into life by watching how birds fly. When birds outstretch their wings, notice what happens. They lead with their chest and their heart. If they don't, their wings can't open fully and they won't be able to fly. So while the world of no, N-O, presses us to keep our wings tucked, the instinct to lead with our hearts can't be suppressed. We even dream about this birthright until we find the courage to open our heart. This is the instinctual response to the world of no, not to refute it or debate it or resist it, but to lead with our heart so we can spread our wings and fly. It takes courage to stop resisting where life wants to take us. This is where the greatest learning takes place. In our vulnerability lies our strength. In the bottom of our brokenness lies our kindness. In the center of our grief lies our truest compassion. These are simple truths that are hard to accept, yet run from them as we do, life in the aftermath of its intensity and storm returns us to these truths. When we can stay tender, though we're broken, we're larger, stronger, and more loving for the breaking. When we can lean in, we're opened to resources beyond our own. When we can lead with our heart, like a bird about to fly, we can lift ourselves from the tangle of our trouble. Arriving at this simplicity, there is nothing to do but glow. And so our work, no matter where life takes us, is to let the light of the soul and the depth of the world bring down the walls of fear.